Today's episode, we're gonna be taking our new to us off-roaders and get a baseline because they're completely stock. And we can't think of a better place to get those figures than at the pit.
Okay, so this is my new to me Land Rover LR3, 2007 with 177,000 miles that I got for under 5,000 bucks. Super proud of this, super excited. It's in amazing condition. I honestly don't know what to do with it. Like I actually don't really know how well this thing drives off-road. So I'm really excited to be here at the pit and stress test it a little bit, see actually how it works, see what it does.
And this is my 2007 Jeep Wrangler. Now this is the X, it's the base model. It's got the 3.8, 6-speed, and it has the tow package. So it has the 410 gears. It's completely stock. Somebody put some beefy, oversized 245 tires on it, and that's about it. In the time that I've owned it, I did add a little bit of front flare. I found a Rubicon bumper off eBay. I've thrown a winch on it and some off-road lights. But other than that, she's completely bone stock, and I'm really excited to see what this thing can do off-road in its stock configuration. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint. So with that being said, we have America's finest. We've got some British charm, and I can't think of a better way to compare these vehicles without a little Japanese flair. This is a new Lexus that our friend just picked up, and he's going to tell us a few words about what this is.
This is my new ride. It's a Lexus 470. It's a 2006. It has 178K miles, and it's brand new to me. I've only had it for one whole week. I got it for a steal of a deal at 5K. Ooh, I love it so much. It's wonderful. It's too nice. I'm here to see how it does because it's a beast, but I don't know where the line starts and ends.
It's time to test these vehicles. So I think the first thing we're going to do is go down this trail. I know the cameras, they can't pick up depth, but this stuff is pretty deep. So just to give you some sort of idea, this is like next to impossible to show. I'm 6'1", and this stuff is already up to about my belly button. So I have to climb up it pretty steep. This is about the best we can give. You just have to trust us. This is not your typical forest trail. It's got some doozies. What we're gonna try and see is the articulation of these vehicles, how they handle when they're stock. See how well they do, see what it takes to get them to go on 3 wheels, and just kind of get a better baseline of flex and ground clearance. So I think Art's first, so let's get him in the pit and see if he cries. Ah! So I don't know if what you just saw was the result you were expecting. Some vehicles did extremely well, some did pretty well, and others did okay. They did their best. We have three very different companies with three very different ideas on what makes the perfect off-roader and what gives you the best of everything when you're out here. So I figured I would do a bit of a deeper dive and go into what makes each vehicle unique and what might make it its downfall. So first, I figured we'd start with the Jeep Wrangler for the simple fact that it's mine. The Jeep Wrangler, it goes off of probably one of the oldest recipes, might be even older than Coca-Cola, I don't know. And that is solid front axle. This has a solid front, solid rear, coil suspension, front and rear, and that's about it. If you're a little fancier, you can get lockers front and rear and maybe even electronic disconnecting front sway bar. But as this one sits, there's nothing to it. This has very few electronic assists as well. Just today, I figured out that this does have an assistance where if you get a tire off the ground, it will sense the wheel spin and it will lock that tire and send power to the tire that's on the ground. And that works great with the solid axle configuration because essentially, if one tire is off the ground, there should be at least another one on the ground, and that helps push it forward. The only problem is that tire has to come off the ground first, which might lead you to lose some momentum. But with that being said, this vehicle is extremely analog, and I believe it depends solely on the driver to get you, like this vehicle will get you as far or as little as you want, depending on what you do behind the wheel. That brings us on to the next evolution. The Lexus, which in other places this is a Prado, and some of us might know it as a V8 4Runner. If you're new to the channel, I do have a 2006 V8 4Runner, and those who aren't new to the channel, you know what that 4Runner looks like. It's pretty modified, so it's great that we have this example to show. Now Toyota, they take a bit of a mixed approach. Still in the rear, you have a coil sprung rear solid suspension, solid axle, but in the front, they do things different. It has a full independent front suspension double A-arm. And what that does is it gives you a much better compliance on road. While the Jeep can be a little twitchy and a little bit more hard to keep in lane, this addresses that problem. But with everything you fix, there's always a consequence. And the consequence to this is your front articulation is severely limited compared to the Jeep Wrangler. And as you see in the video, that causes the rear to have to compensate for when the front dives, the rear has to articulate more and it can push a tire off the ground. This I almost said it, this Lexus also has the first generation, I believe, of Toyota's A-Track system. And that is kind of similar to what the Wrangler has, and it uses the traction control system to assist in braking and kind of makes up for lack of a locker. This does have a locking center diff, but that's about it. It's open diff front and rear. And it gives it kind of its benefits, it gives it its negatives, but that's Toyota's approach. They got rid of the solid axle to give a little bit more street compliance while still offering a lot of flex in the rear and a decent amount of electronics to assist you further. And then this brings us to the last one. The computer on wheels. So the Land Rover, they take everything that the Wrangler and the Lexus have and they just throw it all away. It still has a frame, has a V8, but gone are the solid axles front and rear. The Land Rover is rocking an air suspension all the way around. And at some point, they must have believed that solid axles weren't necessary anymore because they used to have the same suspension setup as the Jeep Wrangler. But oddly enough, from looking at what we just did, this vehicle has a ton of articulation. Out of all three vehicles, this one barely left the ground, while these three were tripoding the entire way, no matter what was in the front. So Land Rover, they got something right. While this is kind of awkward and not the most popular choice for off-roaders, it still holds its own and it does a fantastic job. Now, what helps assist this suspension is that Land Rover was the first to come out with a full like multi-terrain select, which gives it the ability to adapt to the different terrains that it's on. And it shows. This vehicle, it completely transforms with the turn of a knob. And the downhill control and assist helps tremendously when you're off-roading. And as long as everything is working, this one does great. It's the most comfortable, it's the most compliant, and in stock form, it has the most articulation, if you can believe it. And that's what we got.
So what do you think, man?
It's good. You know, I feel like the system I just bragged about kind of glitched a little bit. It didn't want to cooperate, but after a while it did start working. And you know, with its limitations on tire sizes, tire quality, and being like 4 inches off the ground, it did it. And that's even with the sway bar still connected. I didn't disconnect the sway bar at all. I feel like if I were to have taken that off, it probably would have been a little bit easier.
Okay.
That's kind of the cheat code to cheaps. But that being said, the tires did come off the ground quite a bit. And I feel like a little bit more articulation and a little bit more ground clearance would definitely send this Jeep onto the next level and really give it its full potential. So
I love it, man. That's, yeah, definitely things to consider as you look at a build list for this thing. I love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I got some ideas.
Gosh, well, congrats making it out of the pit.
Oh yeah, made it out.
All right, man, how are we feeling?
Oh, a little defeated, to be honest. I thought it was easy after watching this guy. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot, and then it's stopped. The A-track kicked in a lot. The articulation was not pretty. And then it just felt odd. Like, you know, when it just doesn't feel right. I tried a few times and I had to toss in the hat because I didn't want to hurt it.
Yeah, you just bought this thing. Justin, anything that he could install to this vehicle to make it climb that hill a little better? It's the pit.
See, I would do a solid axle swap. That would definitely help.
Yeah, I guess, yep, that would that would nip it in the bud.
Yeah, a little bit more suspension, sway bar disconnect would help. And yeah, it's just limitations of an independent front suspension.
Hey, that makes sense. Hey, that's fine. We appreciate you bringing it out here. Yeah, your stock GX470. It can do a lot, but the pit is the pit. People thought we were kidding.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what the Rover does.
How was the pit?
Dude, I made it out of the pit. It felt easy. It felt pretty good. That was like the traction control system really just does the work. It just does its thing. That's wild. Borderline, it's like a cheat code. It's like the truck's doing it for you. So I got a lot to think about.
What do you think would be a good upgrade?
I'll have to think kind of hard, because the way it just walked up, I'm like, I feel like I need to find a point where I'm struggling before I just start throwing money at a problem that I haven't encountered yet. I know I was noticing some knocking up front. The Britishness of this thing. I think I probably need to redo the front suspension, the bushings and stuff like that. So that'll probably be just maintenance, just getting it like primo for all the climbs and stuff. So yeah, like I think just taking care of what's there might do me good.
Okay, we got another pit success story.
I'm out of the pit.
Woo.
Gosh.
And some of us have to make other people look great, and that's my role today. So I'm happy I played it, and I'm happy I was here.
We're happy you're here too, man. Thanks for coming.
The pit victim.
Yeah, I think that's it on this one, Jay. Right, we made it in the pit, we made it out of the pit. Give a great dissertation on what makes each of these things different. If you guys have any comments, please let us know.
Yeah, we're pitters now.
Yeah, which country does it best? Which would you go with? Let us know down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and look out for us in upcoming videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys.